all these like huge stars, big giant successes, they start somewhere, just like everybody else. It proves to me this point that like, as long as your stuff is good, then if you keep at it, the success will come. But I pulled together a few examples of, we've got Rage Against the Machine as the first one. I'll keep the other two secret till we get there.
Okay.
But go ahead and pull this up. I wanna dive into this.
Alrighty. Oh my gosh, this looks exactly like places we've played before.
Oh, for sure. Like
it's just some awning,
some pavilion,
and they just got like a somewhat of a stage. That does not look very safe. Man,
rock and roll, man.
Look at those baggy pants, those 90s.
Yeah. So go ahead with this.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out today, and here's Rage Against the Machine.
1991, October.
Killing in the name
it's actually, that's pretty badass. Dude, there's nobody in the crowd.
I know. So pause for a second. Skip ahead to like I don't know, like a minute and a half in for whatever reason. So they do Killing in the Name of, but he doesn't actually sing it at all.
What if they didn't have words back then?
Yeah, they may not have.
So there's 2 minutes.
Yeah, just go like right there. Let's just see what we get here.
So this is their first performance?
Supposedly.
There's one person.
He goes like full. There's a lot more dancing in this than what you're used to out of a frontman in typical rock.
Oh yeah. Dude, they're giving it their all, though.
So I don't know if you know much about Rage Against the Machine, but
that girl right there is probably one of them's girlfriends. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Dude, I used to jam out to this shit driving down my Jeep. Oh, yeah, driving to the beach before I go surfing or something.
I would do it before I went mountain biking. Okay. So Skip, so point here being that like these guys are giving it their all. This sounds, by the way, like just like the album, like that rendition, like that is what the
their
album
performance.
sounds like.
I mean, the audio sounds like shit because
fine,
it's
but I'm saying their execution.
Camcorder. Oh
so
yeah,
it's not like that was a less than type show. But like even if you skip like halfway through.
Oh my goodness, this is a pretty long show. It's a 30-some minute.
Yeah, they did several songs.
So 30 minutes in, there's only 4 guys.
Right, exactly. And then go to the end. Right there. So they've brought a crowd, which is, obviously a good sign.
About 11 people.
About 11 people.
Dude, that dude, oh, he is getting into it.
That guy's an early adopter for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Ahead of his time.
What's funny is he's got like a button-up shirt, and he's like, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks of me.
He looks like one of the nerdier guys in the crowd for sure. Okay, so enough of this. Skip to the next video of these guys. So we went fall of 91, and this is Pink Pop Music Festival 1993. So the span of 2 years or less.
Okay.
Go ahead and
oh my gosh. That's crazy. 2 years later. Music is such a weird thing where, dude, you can be nobody on a Thursday and then like all of a sudden something and Post Malone's story's the same way.
What's that? Tell me that.
Well, he posted something on SoundCloud and it was good.
Yeah.
It was Iverson or White Iverson or something like that. Forgive me for not knowing it, but he posted it and then went to sleep and then woke up and it had gone viral. And then like he was getting like DMs from like famous rappers and he's like, oh shit, this happened.
Wow. Literally overnight.
Literally overnight.
Well, what's crazy is like we talk about this a lot on the show, but Aaliyah, my wife, your sister, who is a country music artist, I play guitar for her. You do, the majority of her production work. And we would do the same show like locally here where we live in like a, small bar kind of just because. But it'd be like on a Thursday night, and people would kind of be like, "Oh yeah, okay, there's a band playing, interesting." Like, and then kind of,
And they're on their phone.
they'll be on their phone or their backs to you, and they're
Yes.
talking about something. And they're like, and then what's weird is same band, same songs, same execution. We'll go do it down on Broadway in Nashville, and people will just sit there. Like they'll be like leaned in and they'll just be like, "Oh my God, this is real music. Like this is Nashville music." It's like, well, first of all, it's not Nashville music. It's
we're from
it's
Illinois.
But it's like so domain specific. So sometimes it's interesting just to see you take the same thing in a different world, in a different environment, and it frames it up properly to where it can totally change how it's received. But yeah, I mean, these guys, same thing, same music, same band.
Look at the crowd.
Yeah. Here we go. Watch this one for a minute. This is what I
Was
was
this the
looking
guy? Are they the ones that brought in like that rap rock mixture that like Linkin Park came in, or was that before?
for. My opinion, these guys are way better than a lot of the other rap rock
Agreed.
that's out there. Partly because the music is so percussive.
Mm-hmm.
Like this trio as a band, these guys are outrageous. It's so, I mean, it's heavy. Listen.
God, they were so good.
Always quite.
Also, what a great band name, Rage Against the Machine.
Well, so there's Zach De La Rocha, this singer, this guy. I have a feeling that we would not get along on a personal
Probably,
level.
yeah.
But I love like his passion for what he's about. I mean, like every single song is about fighting. It's literally it's raging against the machine. And
The machine is obviously like government, the
all
way
the things,
that
power
life
hierarchies,
worked. Yeah.
authority. And
I'm assuming he's an anarchist.
he's
That's my
a
assuming,
progressive
yeah.
for sure. He's an activist, but like he is, I mean, he is not an opportunist. He means this stuff like from top to bottom. I just think he's like super, super duper, like behind every word that he says. And
Dude,
he's very smart.
yeah,
He's
but
basically an historian. Like when he talks, if you read the lyrics that he goes through and talks about the things that have happened throughout history and with our government, and like this guy is ahead of his time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the guy's brilliant. And all of this stuff hits way different, I feel like, in 2024.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go listen.
So I've been listening to this music now that I listened to years ago. I'm telling you, with the last few years that we've had, it's interesting because it depends upon who the power is. When you're talking about take the power back, when you're talking about fighting, the establishment and the elites and all this stuff, and it's
The
like,
banking system.
well, wait a second, like it goes both ways. So
Mm-hmm.
like, what's interesting is I think there's a lot of people that could listen to this music and come to two very separate conclusions, but feel very vindicated and supported by the music. So like, listen to this. He is coming from a very specific side of the aisle politically, very progressive, very, he's an activist.
Well, music is supposed to be able to speak to you
Yeah.
and how you perceive it. So I'm curious what the words are.
So this is Know Your Enemy. Great song. Again, I love it. But in 2024, just like I said, it hits different. At the end of the song, he does this thing where he's kind of yelling. Well, he yells a lot, but he says, "Yes, I know my enemies. They're the teachers who taught me to fight me. Compromise, conformity, assimilation, submission, ignorance, hypocrisy, brutality, the elite, all of which are American dreams." And then he goes on to say that over and over and over and over through the end of the song. But I think both sides of the aisle could identify with those words.
I think the people do.
The
I don't
teachers
think a lot of the leaders would.
No, but I'm saying like, I don't really care your political affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably read those words and feel like that's your anthem a little bit.
Well, I feel like a lot of people actually want the same things. A lot of people disagree on how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is the powers that be, the elites, actually get us fighting amongst each other about dumb things.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put it in the news. They'll make movies about things. They'll exaggerate things. And then what ends up happening is we're fighting over that shit, and we're not worried about, oh, they're robbing us blind. They're, the banking system, the inflation from our government, the laws they're putting in place, our freedoms are going, and they're all hiding it and disguising it as safety.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just...
Interesting. Read that one more time.
Yes, I know my enemies. They're the teachers who taught me to fight me. Compromise, conformity, assimilation, submission, ignorance, hypocrisy, brutality, the elite, all of which are American dreams.
Dude, if you even think about the school system, it is basically just teaching kids to submit, sit, be quiet, and do these boring tasks. Why? What's important to do?
Wait, do you mean like corporate America? Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly.
It's a feeder for corporate America.
There's a reason why I do not work well in corporate America, or authority the normal structure of authority does not work on me, is because I did not go to school that way. I was homeschooled. I was raised in a way to where it's just like, when you grant someone authority, they deserved it, from my opinion. Not just...
They earn it.
They earn it.
Yeah.
Yes. Versus just like, oh, that's the boss. That's why I'm not afraid of being around like mega stars or any type of artist, actors. It never bothered me. They're just a human.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, I hang out with megastars too all the time, just so we're clear.
I'm just saying, I've been around a lot of famous people in my life, and only one person I've ever gotten nervous, and that was because they were an actress on Star Trek. And I'm a nerd. I really am. Anyways,
side tangent.
Yes.
I just thought I'd share that. I thought it was interesting. I was like, as I listen to stuff, I'm like, man, this resonates differently than I think the original intent. But
the point of these are, I think, just to show, like last podcast, we talked about failures and success and like, just keep going. These guys could have been discouraged, and we've seen it before, man, how an artist will show up. Oh, there's only 20 people here. I'm just going to play.
Just phone it in.
It's like, dude, give it everything, anyways.
Yeah. And they did, like that entire performance, that 30-minute or whatever performance on the pavilion. It looked just like what was happening at that music festival. Yeah. Like they gave it 100%. Like the final song, he was like screaming until his voice wasn't there anymore. And he was like on his knees, and he had like thrown the mic stand. Just like he was being who they were performing as the band that they were going to become. Like there was no different. It was sort of like what do they say? Wear the dress for the job you want, not the job you have. They were dressing for the job they wanted for sure. But I don't think they were dressing like it was for real.
I think sometimes like that, if nobody's there, it's practice. All right, give it everything. This is an on-stage practice. If there's 12 people here, give it all.
Yeah.
And also those 12 people that are watching, oh my Lord, they become fans. Like, you gave me all that? And it's like that one dude in the red shirt who was freaking out in the button up, who just got off work. He's like, he felt that music. Like, he's like,
he had some rage, huh?
He had some rage, and I love it. All right, so who's this?
So go to...
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. If you want to see the full podcast, be sure to click on the link in the description. And if you feel like it, hit subscribe.